Hey guys, this is Fox here. I know it's kind of dark, but I'm just shooting this video as kind of an impromptu sort of thing. Uh, I think I'm gonna keep over the next day or so here. I'm just gonna make like a little video diary of my trials and errors of trying to flash my Xbox 360's Hitachi DVD drive because I'm running into a lot of problems so far. There wasn't a whole lot of trouble with getting the Xbox open and getting everything, physically set up that I needed. But I have you can't see it, but like right off the screen, I have everything set up. I was just about getting ready to do everything, blah, blah, blah. I turned on my computer. I put in the Slacks CD, which is the Linux bootloader that you need to do the whole flashing thing to the Hitachi. And I put it in, and it gave me an error message, and I was like, the fuck? Because, I don't know, I get excited like that, because I was so prepared to just, throw everything in and be like, yeah, did it. But it didn't really work that way. So, I put it in, gave me the error message, I restarted my computer a few times, tried it again and again, it kept giving me the same error message, researched it a little bit, and it could be one of two problems that I'm seeing right now. It could be either that I need to try Slacks 2.0 instead of the Slacks 2.1. I ran into a couple posts on some message boards on some forums that people said for some reason Slacks 2.1 failed to boot for some reason on their configuration. So I was like, alright, so, try Slacks 2.0. And then I ran into another post that said, I wasn't thinking and I didn't run a checksum on the ISO that I downloaded for Slacks. So it just could have been that Magic ISO just, there was an error while it was burning, and that's why it won't boot. So I was going to go back in and make dual copies of each one. I was going to redo Slacks 2.1 once with Magic ISO, and then once with... oh shit, I just got it and I can't even remember the name of it. ImageBurn, it's a freeware one. Seems to work okay, but I was going to burn each version of Slacks using each one, just, in case it was, turns out that it was a program or whatever. So I tried to get back to my computer, and for some reason, my boot, my original system boot is all fucked up, and it won't even do anything. It just sits there. It just idles at the boot from CD screen. And I was like, okay, sure. So I restarted it and, went through the steps again so I could see what would happen a second time, and the same thing happened. And I was like, oh, fuck this. So, I turned off the computer, turned off the power supply, and I ate some cereal because that's what I do when I'm frustrated. And I came back and did the same thing. So I went into the BIOS and I changed boot priority to hard drive just to see what happened, and it just idled at the boot screen. But as far as I know, my hard drives didn't spontaneously die because I'm reinstalling Windows right now and it's going fine. I don't really know what happened. It could have just been something that upset the balance of my 3 operating systems that I somehow got installed, because I was originally running XP with Service Pack 2, and then I decided to dual boot with Ubuntu. I think it was Intrepid Ibex. Can't remember, is it 10.4, something like that, and that worked fine. But then I tried to triple boot with Windows Vista, and I forgot the process. I had to go through with getting Ubuntu to work while dual booting Windows XP in the first place. You have to go through this whole process where you edit files and shit, and I forgot to do that, so it was all wonky, and I don't know, that could have caused something to happen. But, I don't know, so I guess I kind of needed a hard drive wipe anyway, or, wanted one. That would probably be in my best interest at some point. But, oh man, it just kind of pissed me off, because I was like I said, I was just all ready to, jump on that and just do it. And then, well, shit happens, and I get a little too excited too quickly, so, I'm like, oh shit, I'm an idiot, I can't do anything right, or whatever. So, but, now it seems to be going okay. I'm just watching over the I think it's still formatting right now. I'm gonna jump back on there in a few minutes and see what's going on. But damn, I didn't know it was gonna be such a pain in the ass. Seriously. Um, and it's funny because I hear that compared to flashing like just a normal if you were to get like a Samsung DVD drive in your 360 or I think they just started putting BenQ DVD drives in there. But with the Samsung drives, I heard it's not that much of a problem. You just need a bootable USB drive, and that's that's the only problem, quote unquote, that could happen is that you wouldn't have one laying around. But it's funny because when I bought my Xbox, my original Xbox back in the day, it's like a year after launch. There were I think also 3 different types of DVD drives they were putting in the original Xboxes, and I think it was either a Samsung or like a Seagate that was supposed to be the best one. Like it read everything perfectly and never failed. You never got disk read errors or anything like that. But it just so happens that with that first Xbox, I got the worst hard drive of the 3 or 4. I was looking online one day just because I was curious, and I was like, well, what's the difference? And I was reading about them, and I'm like, how do I tell which one I have? So I looked up the chart and looked at the pictures, and I'm like, all right, let's check this out. And I had the shittiest one, and that's happened again. I mean, not to say that Hitachi's shitty, but when you're trying to flash it like this, I've heard that it can be a pain in the ass, especially with the later versions. So, fuck. Anyway, I guess that's all for now. A couple days ago, I played the first PC point-and-click adventure game I played in like 7 or 8 years, so it's been a while. It was called Overclocked, and it was pretty good. It was really interesting. Like just the way you progress through the story is really interesting, and it had me hooked. And it was good that it wasn't a very long game. Probably took me like 5.5 hours, like right between that time span. So that was kind of surprising, just because it was my first time through the game, and I was hooked on it. So I guess I was more dedicated. Like I sat on the computer for longer than I should have. But I just thinking back, like I think the last one that I played before that was like it was either I gotta think way back. Probably The Longest Journey was the last one that I played. Like the last PC point and click that I played. And that game, I remember I played it for like 4 or 5 hours and was fucking stuck everywhere. Like I couldn't go anywhere, and I was just like, I was young at the time too. Like I was younger at the time, so that could have been part of it. But yeah, I'd heard some stuff about Overclocked being kind of cool, kind of neat to check out. So I checked it out, and it was pretty good. It was worth the time that you put into it. But I gotta say the ending was just, I mean, like shameful. I think even if you were like, I know people said that Indigo Prophecy / Fahrenheit had like a really iffy, bad, shitty ending. If you were to like compare the two side by side, in that light, Fahrenheit wouldn't have had a bad ending. It would have been a good ending compared to the one Overclocked. It just like basically went down the shitter. Like as soon as the final FMV started, that's it. That was all it took, and the final cutscene was like 5 or 6 minutes. So in that last 5 or 6 minutes, it like completely ruined the game basically. But